Today, Google unveiled the Pixel 8 series. I'm going to tell you everything that happened at this event, so stay tuned. Let's get started. Before I go on with this video, let me tell you quickly about Google Career Certificates. They are courses created by Google and are an excellent option if you are looking to improve your knowledge and skills. You don't need previous experience and you can learn at your own pace, focusing on high-demand areas such as IT support, data analysis, project management, and user experience design. In the description, I leave you a link with more information in case you are interested. This event started with a short video where the Google logo flips and the two O's transform into an 8. Then a video started where there are several people in a row and in various places talking about the Pixel 8 rumors. Some were saying it's going to be bigger, some smaller, night mode. It's going to have more smart features, and at the end of this whole video they say, "But do you think all those rumors are true?" And then they laugh, ha 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 ha, and say, "Well, let's see." And he says, "Who are you talking to?" "To the people," referring to you as the audience. Then Rick came on stage and started to give a little speech. He said that 2023 is a big year for Google because they are celebrating their 25 years. And they also said that one of their goals is to make artificial intelligence more useful for everyone, and that the Google Pixel is the only cell phone backed by Google engineering, entirely created by them with artificial intelligence at the core. This is the vision that Google has repeated multiple times, AI first. They then showed some of the features that are already using artificial intelligence and mentioned that Google is the fastest growing brand in the markets where it is present with the Pixel. They just need to get them to Mexico, please. They also showed the portfolio that currently has the entire Google Pixel series, including a tablet, watch, headphones, and foldable. They also announced that they will be shipping a new update for the Pixel Buds Pro that will improve voice pickup on calls. So even if you're in a very noisy environment, they'll be able to hear you just fine. And this is going to be enabled automatically without you having to press any buttons or anything like that. For this, they will use a feature called Bluetooth Super Wideband to transmit all that data information from the headphones to the cell phone. In fact, they played an example to notice the difference with this option and without this option. Let's listen to it.
I'm going to be ready to come out and join everybody for dinner. So, are you still thinking of trying that place on 63rd? I've heard really great things about it.
Definitely very, very surprised at the level of noise cancellation these microphones provide. They also said that the headphones will automatically detect when you are talking so that your music is paused and you can interact with someone. In fact, this is something that Samsung's headphones already included, so it's not the first time we've seen this in the industry. Also, through an update, they have reduced latency by 50% for these Pixel Buds Pro. But they said they are not the only ones to receive new features, so the dual screen interpreter mode for Pixel Fold is now supported in over 40 languages. And within the Google Home app on the Pixel tablet, we're also going to have new features, as the generative intelligence is going to be able to summarize all the events that have happened on the cameras in your home. So if you have registered that a person arrived, that a stranger or a family member arrived, instead of scrolling through all the activities, Google with generative artificial intelligence can show you through text a brief summary of everything that has happened. In fact, you will also be able to ask if your package arrived yesterday or specific questions, and Google with artificial intelligence will answer you as if it were a person you are asking. They said that this feature will be exclusively for paid subscribers who activate the experimental features. Next, James Park came on stage to talk about the Pixel Watch 2. This person mentioned that this watch has been completely revamped, and now with the help of Fitbit monitoring, we are going to have even more accurate monitoring. They mentioned that they revamped the material and feel with a more durable glass. A recycled aluminum case, and all their new bands and straps are also carefully designed. The truth is that each of them looked very nice and very attractive aesthetically speaking. In addition, they also highlighted that the whole experience will be enhanced thanks to the new quad-core processor that is included, and regarding battery life, they announced that it will support 24 hours of use with always on turned on. Although they did not give the figure of how long the battery of this watch would last with this feature turned off, but they also mentioned that it has fast charging, so it can give you 12 hours of use with 30 minutes that you put it on charge. They also wanted to highlight the features of Wear OS, which is the operating system that it incorporates, giving you access to Gmail, Calendar, YouTube Music, Maps, WhatsApp, and other apps. They also said that you can add medical and emergency information so you can get help in the unexpected. They also have a new feature where you can set a timer so that in that time you should return home, and if you have not returned after that time, your family will receive a notification that there is something wrong. This feature reminds me a lot of the feature that Apple recently introduced within their iMessage app, so it looks like they have been inspired there. It's a feature that is very useful because if you went out and then you say, well, I'm going home, I'll be home in about an hour. You set the timer on the clock, and if you haven't arrived, I think it's going to be easier for other people you care about to find out. They also mentioned that they have new algorithms, updated software, and 3 new sensors to have a much more accurate measurement. They have a heart rate sensor that now has 5 channels to have greater accuracy, combining the most advanced intelligent algorithm they have created, and with this they can have 40% more accuracy in activities that are a little more dynamic where there is a lot more movement. There will also be a new sensor for body temperature scanning and another sensor that they have called continuous electrothermal activity sensor that serves to monitor stress. This sensor was already used by Fitbit in some of their watches, and for the first time it comes to the Pixel Watch. In fact, that's why they said that with this they see how the best of Fitbit and the best of Google come together in this Pixel Watch too. And with that started a video of a person who was basically telling his experience with an active lifestyle, showing how the watch alerts him when his stress level is too high and he starts doing breathing exercises. He also shows how the watch helps him exercise and monitor everything in a very specific way and more. In fact, he also showed the safety check feature, which is this one I mentioned, so that after you go out, you set it how long it should take you to get home. Then the presenter said that most of us are not athletes like this person who had been in the video, but anyway, we can take advantage of all these functions in our daily life. They mentioned this to give way to the announcement of the revamped Fitbit app, which will now display 3 tabs at the bottom. The first tab is called Today, the second tab is called Workout, and the last tab is called You. But in addition to the redesign, they have added a new feature through artificial intelligence that is able to give you a personalized workout plan, and also thanks to the generative artificial intelligence, you are going to be able to ask it something regarding your workouts, and this artificial intelligence is going to know all your history to give you good feedback. An example that they put is that you tell the artificial intelligence that this time you felt heavier training, that if it knows the reason, and the artificial intelligence could do an analysis of all your data, and for example, it could tell you that you have not slept very well lately and that could be the cause. This Fitbit feature they announced will be available next year for those enrolled in the Fitbit Labs program and Pixel cell phone owners. Immediately after that, they showed a brief summary with the main features of this watch and announced its price, which is $1,349, including you 6 months of Fitbit Premium. The pre-sale starts today and they start shipping from the following week. And also remember that Google does not distribute their devices in many parts of the world. After announcing the price, they also gave a mention to the Fitbit Charge 6 that was presented last week and highlighted that it includes Google Maps, YouTube Music, and some other applications. If you do not know this bracelet, I recommend you go to see past accounts where I have told you all this information. After this, they went on to talk about the Pixel 8. They started the presentation of these cell phones by highlighting the main artificial intelligence features that were already present in the past generations and said, "We present you the new Pixel 8 Pro and Pixel 8. These devices include the new Tensor 3 processor, and they also said that they include the best Android experience as they are made to deliver the most useful features made by Google." To explain more details, Cloud entered the stage mentioning that these are the best phones Google has ever made and they are at the core of the entire Pixel family. That is why they also retain all the same design and philosophy that bring the rest of the devices that are part of this same family, including the same color palette, very similar materials. In fact, they highlighted that their devices do not have rigid edges but have slightly softer edges for a more comfortable grip. The Pixel 8 is smaller for comfortable use, and the Pixel 8 Pro has a premium finish with a soft touch glass. They also mentioned other terms like a porcelain finish or ceramic aesthetic to more or less describe the design of this device. But they also said that they are taking environmental measures to have an environmentally friendly design. You know this is very common with brands these days, mentioning that they have zero emission plans for 2030. This Pixel 8 Pro uses 100% recycled aluminum in the phones, and they also have plastic-free packaging. And they said they are working on the longevity of the devices to make them last much longer. So they worked with iFixit to create an accessory kit and the necessary guides for users themselves to be able to repair their phones without much hassle, improving the repairability issue. They later said that the screen is what you see the most, and that's why it should look like real life. And that's why they introduced their new brand, or their new way of naming the screens, called Actua Display. The Pixel 8's display is 6.4 inches with 2000 nits of brightness, and the Pixel 8 Pro's display, they called it Super Actua. It is 6.7 inches, reaching 2400 nits of brightness and having the ability to go from 1 to 120 Hz in its refresh rate. They wanted to also highlight the incorporation of a temperature sensor on the back with the Pixel 8 Pro, and gave as an example that you can measure the temperature of your baby's milk, so you're not going to give them something too hot. All of this temperature history can also be saved in the Fitbit app in case you want to keep measuring your body temperature. They said that this device also has major renovations inside, and that's why Monica came in to give more details of the Tensor G3 processor. She mentioned that it is their newest chip designed to bring all of Google's artificial intelligence innovations. She said that everything has been revamped, both CPU and GPU image signal processor and the special AI module, as it is now twice as fast as the Pixel 6 in running some AI stuff, but it can run up to 10 times more complex models than the Pixel 6 can run. So the improvement is huge, and that's why they're able to also have improvements in voice recognition, which is now automatically going to recognize what language you're speaking in. So if in the same dictation process you are using Spanish words and English words, automatically this voice recognition system is going to change to adapt in a better way. This is something that no other cell phone in the industry can do today. It will also have the ability to read the internet articles you are browsing automatically in a very natural voice, and you can speed up, fast forward, rewind, or even translate that reading. Thanks to all this artificial intelligence, they also wanted to highlight calling features like Call Assist, Clear Calling, and Call Screen. This last feature helps you reduce spam, as Google automatically answers these spam-like calls by saying that you are not available, so you just answer hello. They start telling you the promotion like switch to this phone company and we offer you I don't know what. Then Google says, I'm sorry, at this time this person is not available, thank you very much, and hangs up. They gave another example of how an airline calls a person to notify them of changes in their flight reservations. So the Google Assistant automatically responds if it can give you more information, and this call is summarized in text to you as the user, and from the text you can choose the options of how you want it to respond, and the assistant responds with voice as if it were your human personal assistant. They said that this feature will also be available later on Pixel Watch 2. Then Shanaz entered to talk more details about the camera, mentioning that this Pixel 8 series comes with improved hardware combining artificial intelligence, the Tensor G3 processor, and a new camera with all improved optics. In fact, we are going to find an ultra-wide camera and a wide camera in the Pixel 8 that also has a 2x zoom while maintaining optical quality, according to Google's words. This device also has improvements at the time of low light and backlight, and thanks to its real tone function is able to give greater precision to different skin tones and colors. They also announced a new term called computational audio, as well as in the past they had announced computational photography, and with this they have introduced a new feature called Audio Magic Eraser, which is like a noise cancellation but applied to the videos you have recorded. It is then able to identify all the sounds in your video and separate them into different layers so that you as a user can choose which noises you want to remove from this video. They gave as an example how they recorded a baby, and in the background there was a barking dog. Let's listen to it so you can notice how advanced the noise cancellation is. They said that this device allows you to have amazing pictures, but in group moments is where this generation was going to stand out more thanks to its new feature called Best Take, that through Google Photos will allow you to change faces and facial expressions to facilitate the capture of all group photos. They showed an example video for us to see how to take several pictures at the same time. The device is capable of recognizing the faces, and after the capture you can select which face you like the most so that you can take a better picture. Since in many occasions it is common that in a group photo there are people who close their eyes or turn to another side. In fact, several of you have informed me that this feature was already available a long time ago on BlackBerry. I tested this same feature on a Galaxy S4, it seems to me, and in fact other LG devices years ago also had a similar feature that for some strange reason disappeared, but now it is back. It should be noted that this feature does not artificially generate faces but rather swaps them with other pictures you have taken. However, through a new feature called Magic Editor, they allow you to use generative artificial intelligence so you can reposition and resize the elements of your photo or increase the saturation of some objects and be creative. It's really cool how you can reimagine practically your entire photo. They also mentioned a new feature called Guided Frame that allows you to help you frame your photo, well, as it is not only able to recognize faces but can also recognize many other objects. After this, they showed a brief summary of all the features they had presented and released an official video where they show one by one these features. For example, a person takes a picture of himself jumping and through artificial intelligence makes the jump look bigger. That actually scares me a little bit because it could be very fake. They also showed a video where they lower the volume of the noise and the video of the skateboard that had already been leaked several weeks ago that I showed you in the recount. They also showed the face change and another Magic Editor feature for more spectacular shots. For example, making your jump look higher and also removing any tools you used to get to jump. So if you thought beauty mode made you look too fake, well, now this Magic Editor looks like it will take fake to a whole new level. The Pixel 8 Pro, they said, has the best camera, incorporating the 50 megapixel main one with 21% more light gathering. Then we'll have the ultra-wide camera that doubles as a 48 megapixel macro camera with the ability to capture 105% more lighting. And finally, we have the telephoto camera with 48 megapixels capable of capturing 56% more light and giving you supposedly 10x optical quality. But they didn't say specifically what the optical magnification of the lens is. Since remember that through combining an optical lens with a high-resolution sensor, several manufacturers are ensuring to give you optical quality in digital zoom. They also added autofocus to the front camera for better quality selfies and introduced a new Pro mode called Pro Controls, with which you can modify things like ISO, focus, take 50 megapixel photos while still zooming in, and take raw photos that you can then edit in Lightroom. In fact, they showed several examples of these photos and how you can edit them with a wider range of options both in exposure, saturation, and others. But they also said they improved video recording by introducing a new mode called Video Boost. They compared it to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which is Apple's newest device, and the difference looks brutal. In this case, the iPhone seems to have been humbled as the Pixel device has a better dynamic range, better accuracy in skin tones, and they said that every frame of this video is going to be processed to improve the image. However, then they revealed the surprise because it is not a video that is being recorded in real time, but apparently it will be processed in the Google Cloud and then you will receive a notification when your video is ready with all these improvements. Do you think it is fair, this comparison they made against the iPhone video? I don't think so much because the iPhone did record everything in real time without any post-processing, and the Pixel video, according to me, does have post-processing in the cloud. Then they talked about a new feature called Night Sight Video, showing a video that was recorded in Japan using this kind of night mode for the video. In this recording, you can see the comparison of how it looks without this improvement and how later, thanks to this special mode, the colors can be raised, the illumination can be raised, and with this, the level of detail can also be raised. Honestly, it looks very good. We would have to see if it is really going to be the best device for video recording or not, because at the end of this video, they said that this device gives the best result than any smartphone. although in small letters they put it, compared to devices sold in the United States, so probably some device from China can get to beat the Pixel in night recording, but it is not yet known. In fact, this feature will not be available from launch but until December through an update. Then Sisi entered the stage to give more details of Google Assistant, the famous assistant that will now have generative artificial intelligence for the first time. They said that several months ago, they launched Google Bart as an experiment, and for those who do not know, this is like Google's GPT chat that they launched to compete against this alternative. They said that Google Bart is now available in over 40 languages, and recently they also launched extensions so that it can collaborate with other platforms like YouTube, Google Maps, Google Docs and Gmail, and interact with items from all these applications. So now all of this has carried over to Google Assistant as well, and so she said, "I'm excited to show a glimpse of what we've been working on. It's called Assistant with Bart." They mentioned that because of this, Google Assistant can now listen, talk, see, and take actions in case you are away. They showed some examples of what it will be able to do. You could ask it what important emails I missed this week, and it will automatically give you a summary of the emails it considers relevant so you won't miss them. It will show you all the details, and you could also ask it where my friend's party is going to be in case you were invited via email, and it will give you the location. You can ask him how long it takes to get there, and he'll quickly show you directions on maps and that sort of thing. You can also ask her to text your friend to see if she wants to leave with you and the like. Things that we've already seen, in fact. They mentioned that you can give a very detailed request to Google Assistant, like make me a shopping list, and you can give it many more details for your request. So basically all of Bart's technology has moved over to Google Assistant. But now you are also going to be able to take pictures of some objects so that based on that picture, Google Assistant will respond to you. For example, you can take a picture of a sign if you are going for a walk with your pet and ask the assistant to answer you which route will be better to choose if you are going with your dog. You can also take a picture of your dog and tell it to create a caption for social media. These are little things that we have already seen in Meta, as well as in OpenAI with ChatGPT, as well as in Bing with Microsoft. So artificial intelligences seem to be going the same way today. They said that this will be available soon in an application in the next few months. And finally, they wanted to highlight few other artificial intelligence news because they said that this is just the beginning as their engineers are still working on different models based on generative artificial intelligence to be able to improve all the services that Google offers to users. Gboard's autocorrect is now improved to support multiple languages in the same message and is now even able to correct grammar and punctuation marks. You're also going to be able to easily summarize an article from a website you're reading. And they also mentioned that this new Google Pixel 8 series is the first cell phone to run Google's fundamental AI models directly on the device. These models are extremely complex, but since the Google Pixel has 150 times more capability than the Google Pixel 7 Pro in running these models, they were able to put it directly on the device instead of it going all the way to the cloud for processing. This allows the new version of Magic Eraser capable of generating new pixels to fill in the gaps that are left behind objects, for example when removing a vehicle or when removing people from your photos. Therefore, this new model of Magic Eraser is integrated directly into Pixel 8 Pro without the need to connect to the internet. They also highlighted that the voice recorder can summarize the recording directly on the cell phone thanks to all this generative AI running without the need to connect to the internet. They said that in the coming months it will also have smart replies in Gboard to give you suggestions to the messages you are receiving and thus respond with a single tap. They emphasized that it is the first cell phone in the world to have a customized artificial intelligence model running directly on it. That is why they also showed another example, which is the improvement of the zoom through artificial intelligence. The result looks amazing because even though the picture gets to look a little blurry due to the limitations of the camera resolution, the generative AI could correct that picture and highlight all the details to make it look like optical zoom. They said that these are just a few examples of the models that the Tensor G3 can run, and finally said we are very excited about the future of the portfolio of all Pixel devices. You can pre-order from today on the Google Store these devices, and they finally announced their prices. The Google Pixel 8 will be priced at $699, and they include you in the purchase the Google Pixel Buds Pro. Both devices include Android 14, premiering the new version of Android, and also announced 7 years of updates for both devices being the most advanced in the industry, although tying with Apple. So I did not like much when they said that no brand offers this support, although I guess they meant only within the Android market. After this announcement, they finished saying, "Thank you all for joining us. See you soon." And it is exactly the same as I say to you. Thank you very much for watching this summary. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. If so, you know you can tell us, and we'll see you next time.